What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so I'm aware that a lot of people are dissatisfied with the NFL. They don't follow the NFL. Um, I get it, and in particular with the things that are going on right now, as far as the investigation by the NFL of the Washington football team, the toxic atmosphere, you know, many complaints about the work environment within the inner workings of the Redskins, just a lot of different things, a toxic culture overall. But this video is being done to honor the memory of Sean Taylor. All of us who are old enough to remember that sad, terrible day in November 2007 when he was taken away from this world far too early. I believe he was 24 years old when that incident, that terrible tragedy occurred at his home. Anybody who's younger and didn't get to see him play for the brief period of time that he got to play, I advise you to look at some highlights of him. He was a special talent, and he would have been a Hall of Famer. Well, the Washington football team will be retiring his number 21 this coming Sunday before the Washington football team plays the Kansas City Chiefs. He will be only the third player in the history of that franchise to have their number retired. The other two being Sammy Baugh, whose number 33 is retired, and Bobby Mitchell's number 49. Bobby Mitchell was the first black player ever drafted, the first black player that ever played for the former Redskins franchise, despite the fact that original owner Preston Marshall did everything he could, being the vehement racist and segregationist that he was, to keep black players from playing for his organization. Bobby Mitchell passed away last year. Now, there are also some other players, some legendary players, Hall of Famers. John Riggins, number 44, Art Monk's number 81, and Darrell Green's number 36. They have not been worn by other players, but they have not been officially retired. Maybe that will happen in due time, especially when it comes to Darrell Green. Well, actually, all of them. Um, you know, Sean Taylor was a star. He was one of the few bright spots in an era where the then former Redskins were not, if I remember correctly, not a really good overall team. But he was murder on a defensive end. Uh, no pun intended with using that word, but he was absolute murder on the defensive end for the Washington Redskins. Unfortunately, he was shot on November 27th, 2007 during a burglary attempt at his home in Florida, and he later died. According to teammates and coaches, he was in the midst of his best NFL season at the time of his death, despite being out with an injury at the time. He was named as a second team All Pro in 2007. Washington drafted him with the number 5 pick in the draft in 2004. He wore number 36 during his rookie year, then switched to number 21 the next year. His combination of size and physical skills made him a unique talent in Washington secondary, and his popularity led to a number of safeties later wearing number 21. Washington's current safety, Landon Collins, who wore number 21 when he was with the New York Giants, said he hoped Washington would draft him because that's where Taylor had played. So kudos to them for doing this. Even though there's a lot of other things with that franchise I don't give a fuck about and don't like, I will shout out Sean Taylor for getting the honor that he should have been given a long time ago. And also, a lot of people are upset at the short uh, notice that they got of this announcement. Today is Friday. Why wasn't this announced a couple weeks ago? Or was this originally planned for later on in the season, but you're doing this now to try to take what's in the headlines now out of the headlines? You understand what I'm saying? But all in all, shout out to Sean Taylor and his family, and I hope that this brings about some comfort that the organization is acknowledging the contributions of great player who's taken away too soon.